Welcome to Strictlytalk
Where strictly talk about Strictly.
with Poppy and Jordan.
And today's episode 8, and rumor has it, we're talking about
We're
rumors.
talking about rumors. So we're talking about any rumor we've heard about the future of Strictly, anything to do with the future of Strictly, and anything to do with the people on Strictly. So yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll confirm the ones we think are true, and we'll debunk the ones we think are not true. And maybe we'll start some rumors too.
You
But
never know.
first, we're going to start with this or that.
I
Take
have
it
a
away.
proposition, a concept, a
Oof.
thought about, we're talking about rumors. A big thing being rumored at the moment is the hosts, because obviously
Yeah,
Tess and Claude, goodbye. I'm upset about it. So my question is,
yeah,
on Strictly Come Dancing, would you
yeah.
rather have Anton Dubek as a judge or a host?
Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay. See, the thing is, obviously, he is a great dancer, and that is why he's also a judge. He's done the show, he knows how to teach dance and all that. He does present his judging as a comedy show more than anything. You know, he takes those moments as his time to shine. And
Real.
at some point within that, he says something maybe constructive. Uh, Interesting. I think while I don't necessarily see him as being one of our new hosts, I do think he would shine better in the role of a host. He gets more opportunity to do all the silly bits.
Hmm.
Um, God, that's so tough. That is so tough because now I'm thinking if he was a host, who would replace him? What are we doing
Yeah.
there? Hmm. I'm gonna go with host. I think
Hmm.
he's better suited to being a host.
Yeah.
I think he can give feedback, but he could host and still say some of what he wants to say as a host and let someone who's just focusing on judging judge.
Hmm. I think I agree. I think he's such a showman, a
Yeah.
showman. Like when you go
Hmm.
to an Anton show, which I've been to many a time, it's like he's quick with the bits. He's good at like the quips, and it's like I think that would work really well as a host. But then, like you say, if you
Hmm.
put Anton as a host, who's judging? Because I like that we have an ex-pro as a judge, but then who would you pick? And it becomes too complicated.
Yeah. It becomes very complicated. I do think if we're on the host thing, if he was one of the hosts,
Hmm.
it would be quite fun to have him and maybe another ex-pro or like current pro turned host as well. That could be quite
Hmm.
a good way of having these two new presenters. That would be fun. I'd be
Or
up
we
for
just
that.
need to get him like in a like not reality show, a variety show. Get him like, he needs to
Okay?
have some sort of opportunity to like stand on a stage and make a joke and
Yeah.
sing a song.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Do you think imagine the instant dance, but Anton's
Oh
hosting
no.
it? It'd be incredible. But one thing you know for sure is Anton will try and dance at every chance he gets.
Yeah. I was going to say, if he's in the instant dance, he's instantly dancing.
Yeah, he's instantly dancing. As a judge, he does everything he can to stand up and perform. Give him the
That's true.
stage and he's using it.
Hmm.
But you know what? I'm here for it.
Same. I love Anton. It's true.
Love Anton.
My
Love
loves.
Anton. My loves. But anyway, there you go. Anton is
That's been
host.
this or that. And I feel like that's a nice little segue
Yeah,
into the rumors of hosts, because there's been
yeah.
the papers are convinced every week. They're like, oh, they've signed them on. And then the
We
producers
found
are
them.
like, we haven't even had the meeting yet. So
Yeah, found
there's
them.
been names floating.
There's a lot of names floating. Um, One that I'm instantly debunking, which isn't even on our list of names that I said, is Bradley Walsh. It's not happening, people. There is
Please,
no
no.
way.
No offense to Bradley Walsh, but every time I see a comment it's like, it should be Bradley and Barney Walsh, I'm like, is this a joke? No
But
offense, but like, they're fun on Gladiators, but like, no.
no. And I think the bigger picture with the new Strictly hosts is I think it needs to fit a certain criteria. And that
Mhm.
criteria is probably hosts that will stay for quite a while, unless
Mhm.
they're deciding to change hosts every year from now on, which I really doubt. They're not going to want to hire someone like Bradley who might quit the industry in a couple years just because he's done it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's probably going to have to be people that have some idea.
Where did he go? Not again. I'm on my own again. Do we like the headband? My head. Oh, he's back. That was really
Now
scary.
it's Poppy's studio.
Like that was really spooky.
I don't know what
It's the way
happened.
you were like, am I still here? I went, yeah, and then you disappeared.
um, but anyway, yeah. So, someone who has a concept of how the show runs, not only from like a production side, but understands a bit of dance,
Mm-hmm.
understands the behind the scenes, understands what the pros and the judges and everyone's going through, and also just someone that fits the mold for the type of audience that watch Strictly. And while the middle-aged ladies love a Bradley,
They do.
I I don't know that a lot of the rest of the audience would resonate as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the criteria I think we're looking at, which is, having said that, makes some of these rumors easier to justify or debunk without
Mm-hmm.
repeating that. But anyway, the first one and the one I've seen the most, I think, is Alison Hammond, and then in brackets with Alan Carr.
Mm-hmm.
But Alison Hammond appears on most of the lists. Alan Carr
Yeah.
has appeared in a few. I'm going to start by saying Alison Hammond, if I had to put money on it, she would be someone that I expect might get the job.
Oh.
Um, because I think in the same way that Claudia is pretty quick and like
Mm-hmm.
silly, funny, Alison is too.
Mm-hmm.
Alison also competed on the show, so she understands
Iconic
from that side.
moment.
Many an iconic moment, but yeah, she competed, and also I just see it as a good sort of trade off. She's got the skills, but the knowledge as well.
Mm-hmm. My thing with Alison is I love Alison Hammond. First of all, need to say that. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like she is on a lot of things, and I think she does really well on Bake Off. So I'm like, I wouldn't want her to leave Bake Off.
Yeah,
Could you do both because they're these big flagship shows on different channels? Even though, and then she also does This Morning. Like it's a lot. Could she do all of them?
that is true. She is
So it's like
busy, busy.
if she were to do Strictly and then had to leave Bake Off, but then who does Bake Off? Because I think she does well on Bake Off. So then I'm like, but I
Mm-hmm.
do think like because I think she is the right kind of person, like personality wise. She's also someone who like she's very good at being nice. Like when someone needs to be comforted on something like Bake Off or This Morning, if
Yeah,
somebody had a tough dance, Alison could be there.
yeah. She'll
But it's
she'll
just the thing of like the different channels and could you do all of it?
yeah. She'll make people laugh, but she'll also like bring people up. Or yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. She is very, very busy. Um, so that could be a problem. And I do think probably Strictly's the biggest presenting gig in the
Mm-hmm.
UK right now. So she probably would do it at the expense of maybe some of our other shows, which is like, I agree with what you're saying. It would be a shame to lose her on the shows that she's really good
Mm-hmm.
on. Um, so yeah. And then the other half of that, Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Alan's having a resurgence. He's always been in the public eye. He's always been there. He's having a resurgence since the traitors. I really like the guy. Um,
Yeah.
you've said this, I'm sure, on the internet a few times, and I completely agree. Um, I'm not rigid in this, but it was great that we had two female hosts on
Mm-hmm.
Strictly. And so there are enough very, very charismatic, very strong female hosts in the UK that they don't need, they could easily find two. So
Mm-hmm.
from that perspective, I'm not sure I want Alan. Also, it he would make it very central about him. I think Claudia, what she does so well is while being hilarious, she still somehow makes it about the contestants and the
Mm-hmm.
pros. I think Alan's humor comes towards himself a lot, and I don't know if I would like that on Strictly specifically.
Also, I think the amount I'm seeing his name come up is because of the traitors. And I think it's
Yeah,
a thing of people are like, I loved him on that. I want to see more of him. Where's a gig that needs a space filled strictly without thinking
yeah,
if he's the right fit? Because it's like you said about people needing to kind of understand how the dancing works and the
yeah,
pros and all this. It's like he's I think maybe done terms and conditions once, but he's not like within the world in the same way as like
Yeah,
someone like Alison Hammond. So I don't know.
yeah.
Also, in hand, probably quite literally with Alan, Amanda Holden, I've seen people say the pair of them because they do their like, I
Mm,
don't know what that even is, that show where they do up hotels or something, but there's
hmm.
some sort of duo. So I've seen people say them together. But again, it's that thing of, it feels like some of these rumors are just people thinking of a presenter off the top of their
Yeah,
head
yeah.
or someone who is
Here's someone
currently
to do.
relevant and going, oh, they could do it. And it's like, but could they?
And I also think both Amanda and Alan would fall into the bracket of like I wouldn't be convinced that they'll stay for that long.
Mm,
And I don't think they're gonna want to hire people that aren't willing to stay for like 10 years. I think I see
yeah.
this as strictly trying to rebrand and they're gonna want to really start fresh. So I don't think
Hmm.
Alan or Amanda, maybe Allison. I don't Allison's doing everything, but like this would be her biggest job ever. Whereas like
Hmm.
Amanda's done Britain's Got Talent for years and like is on primetime Saturday night TV all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Also,
okay.
I feel like I've seen both Alan and Amanda shoot down rumors. I don't know if they shot down like the idea of doing it or like the rumors that they'd been signed, but I feel like I've seen something with
Mm,
both of them, whereas I don't think I've seen Alison Hammond comment. So
true.
could that debunk some things? Maybe.
Starting
Don't know.
rumors here. And you said something about Alan there that I want to continue on, which is I wonder how much of the cast or the casting, the hiring, whatever you call it, will come off the back of the way that the rumors are working. You know, the
Mm,
speculation and the people being like, "No, it will. I never want to see them," or "Ooh, they'd be great." I wonder how much of that has been taken into consideration, and
hmm.
maybe that is why some of these names have been put out by various sources. Is it's very intentional. It's like, let's
Yeah.
see if the audience react well to the idea that it could be
Hmm.
Alan. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, most jobs they would just hire who they think's best, but obviously this is a job in the public eye, so
Yeah.
yeah. Well, then it brings me to like a double act, and you mentioned Bake Off, so it's a good
Hmm.
transition. Our original Bake Off hosts, Mel and
Hmm.
Sue.
I mean,
I unsure. Honestly,
yeah.
unsure. It's been so long since Bake Off, and Bake Off was such a different vibe, and they were great because they were a double act. Whereas on Strictly, they are a double act, but they are very separately doing their different parts. Um, I wouldn't be mad if it was them.
Hmm.
I'd be okay with it, I think. Um, yeah.
I think with the double act, I like that they do obviously work together. And I think because Tess and Claudia have this like lovely relationship. So I don't want two random people really to just
Yeah.
suddenly be paired up because
Yeah.
that feels a bit like odd. So I do like
Mm,
Mel and Sue would be coming in as a double act, but I feel like Mel is more suited to Strictly than Sue. And I don't mean to split them up. Don't mean to like, start a rumor.
mm,
Maybe there's beef. There's not. But like I can imagine like the Meldatorium. Like I can imagine her up there. I can see
mm.
that. Can I see Sue down where
Could
Tess
be
is?
the
I don't think I can.
Melkany. Malkany.
Oh, yeah, that works.
Yeah. Yeah, I would see it's definitely if it those two, it's wow. Let me try to say that in full words. Definitely if it was those two,
Oh, there were
I'd
some words missing, yeah.
yeah, there were. I could see Mel being Claudia and Sue being Tess. I
Mm,
think it would have to be that way around.
yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, I'm okay with it. I've seen it. I do agree. I like the fact that they're friends, and I want a pair that get on really well. You know, the
Mhm.
chemistry's there at least. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's
Anyway,
also the thing of, again, is it a rumor that's been thrown out there because it's a double act? So it's like an easy thing
yeah.
to throw out to be like, oh, this pair of ladies is leaving. Let's just throw out another
Mm,
pair that we know exists. And then it becomes an
mm,
easy rumor.
yeah. Does become it's a very
Debunked.
easy rumor. I agree. I can't like. There's not that many, yeah, female double act TV presenting
Hmm.
duos. So when there is one, you're like, it's gonna be them. So yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah. Well, next we've got Zoe Ball.
Hmm.
I've seen that one a lot.
Yeah, the like
Um,
biggest, like most recent kind of official seeming rumor that's been running in the press is that it will be either Emma Willis or Zoe Ball and another female comedian, but they've not
mm,
said who the female comedian would be. But I
mm,
would much rather Zoe Ball than Emma Willis. No shade to Emma Willis. Just like Zoe Ball obviously used to do It Takes Two. So
yeah.
to me, that's who seems like the most natural fit. Well, I'd say either move Fleur and Jeanette from Takes Two, which we can talk about in a moment, or
Yeah.
have Zoe Ball come back. That's and also because she's left BBC Radio 2. So it's like, is she stepping back because she's got a big job coming up?
That is
That
true.
kind of leads into the rumor. So, but that's one I've seen a lot, is that maybe it's going to be between those two, and then
Yeah.
presumably in the test role, and then someone else joining them.
Yes. So I haven't actually seen very many things that, or like, I don't listen to her radio show, so I haven't seen that much of Zoe Ball.
Mhm.
Obviously, I know all her connections to Strictly, and I do think it is one of the more realistic rumors. I think there's a good chance it could be her because it makes sense. Um, or I agree, and we'll come to fully in a bit. But if it was like Fleur Jeanette someone
Mhm.
moves, so he comes in to It Takes Two or something like that. I do see a world in which that is happening. Emma, I think, is more off the back of just she has hosted a lot of shows, and
Yeah.
it's like, again, sure, yeah. I mean, they're gonna want an experienced host probably, but like this, there is no other reason for it to be her. I
Hmm.
think.
Yeah. It just feels like I could definitely see it in terms of experience, which also, one thing I see, not too much, but I see people's like suggestions, and it's people who have never hosted a live show. And it's like, guys, do you realize that this isn't like simple, easy? Like, whoever's coming in to do this job needs to be experienced. So at least someone like Emma Willis, has that experience. She could like steer that ship.
Mm-hmm.
But do we even know if she watches it? Like,
Well, yeah, I think that's the other big thing that we didn't mention at the start is it's unlike a lot of TV shows like Ant and Dec. Okay, sure they do I'm a Celeb, but if you're thinking Britain's Got Talent, okay, the live shows towards the end, but a lot of Ant and Dec's job there is pre-recorded, and
mm,
a lot of people's jobs as a TV presenter is pre-recorded. Um, I don't know that Alan Carr has done live hosting ever, presenting. I can't think
mm,
of any. He does a lot of Saturday night quiz shows, but none of those are
yeah.
live.
And I
Same
don't
with
know if
Bradley
Chatty
Walsh.
Man was Chatty Man live. He must have been pre-recorded.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And like same with Bradley Walsh, who I read. So I Googled how they film the actual TV show Gladiators, because I was like, this must take so long to film because the
yeah.
entire set changes every game. And I would assume they film it like not episode at a time, but like we're using this set, so let's film all the
Mm.
contestants do that. No, they film it episode at a time, so it takes a full day.
Oh my
But
God.
also apparently Bradley and Barney uh mess up a lot, and so I
Wow.
don't know if it would go well in live TV.
Mm.
But anyway, that was from an insider who went and saw the show.
I
Um,
want to go.
yeah, well, do you? Because you're there for 12 hours and you watch like 5 games.
That's true. But also, my good friend
I was just waiting for you to say it.
Harry
Um,
Nitro Gladiator, as
I'm
Vito
on.
would say.
Yeah, so as Vito would say. Okay, well, speaking back on Strictly,
Mm.
Angela Scanlon.
I've seen that a lot as well. I could
So,
definitely see her like in the Clauditorium.
I would say she's one of the riskier in terms of she's quite new to it.
Yeah.
Not that new, but on the grand scheme of things, we're talking about
Mm.
people that have been doing it 20 years and she's been doing it 5. I don't know, maybe a bit more.
I don't know. I can't
But
tell time.
she's obviously competed.
Yeah.
Um, she's funny, but she's also done presenting as a job. Um, I also think in terms of like almost like the optics of it, she would be quite a natural feeling replacement. I don't
Hmm.
think it would make it feel that different to what it's felt before. It's going to feel different, but it's not going to be as like jarringly different.
Yeah.
Um, which maybe they'll want, maybe they won't want, but Yeah.
I don't want jarring.
I don't want jarring.
Strictly, if you're putting
I
rumors
like my
out
comfy.
there, if they're like, oh, we'll put out a rumor to see what people feel, we don't want jarring.
Don't want jarring. Don't want jarring. We want
Mm-mm.
comfort. We want
Mm-hmm.
people to laugh. We want people to cry. I want to just feel like I'm watching Friends on a show.
Yeah.
So make it comfy. Yeah. Um, but obviously she's involved in the show very much still. I mean, through the fact Vicky did it, they do their podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They've spoken about Strictly a lot this year. Yeah, I see it being a fair enough
Mm-hmm.
rumor. Um, and speaking of being very involved in Strictly, Lavoie.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's a rumor that has come from people just enjoying her on the show and
Yeah,
gone, there's a job open. She's even joked about it. We'd like to see her. And it's like, I've no idea if there's even like, if she's in the mix. If, 'cause I
yeah,
don't know if on the lists, if she's even been on the like option lists, but she's definitely been in like conversations in like comment
yeah,
sections and, you know,
yeah.
forums and stuff. I think that's one that's very like fan led as a rumor.
Hmm. And I am one of those fans.
Yeah.
I am very much one of those fans. I think people love her, some people struggle. I think she is so funny, so
Hmm.
quick, so clever. And the fact that she basically, yeah, okay, some people didn't like this, turned every time she got feedback into her own little comedy show, just shows how equipped she is to do it live
Hmm.
and make jokes that make you laugh. And they're maybe occasionally slightly towing a line, but they're all still like family friendly Saturday night TV.
Yeah.
Um, on top of that, if we're thinking, awareness, familiarity with how the show runs, she just did it. And this
Hmm.
most recent season has been the quite different to previous seasons. So the way the show's evolving, she's been a part of that recently. So I think
Hmm.
she could be really good. I just think she's hilarious. And I really
Same.
want to
That
see
bit,
it.
like on live tour when it's the start of the show and she's tied up Shirley and they have that banter. Maybe even it's scripted, but it made me laugh every single time I saw the show
Yeah.
because it's just like the way she delivers these lines,
Hmm.
hilarious. So it's like
Yeah.
if that's a taste of what you could get, imagine the banter you would have with the judges if she was the host. Like it would be so funny and so
Hmm.
ridiculous and silly. And like,
Yeah.
is that not what Strictly is? Ridiculous, silly camp. That's
Yeah.
Lavoie.
I certainly think, regardless of what happens with how they decide who's presenting, this isn't the last we've seen of Lavoie and
Mm.
Strictly.
Yeah,
We're gonna get more.
we better.
Um, we better. I'm petitioning Lavoie. If
Hmm.
you're watching this,
Come on the show,
come on the show. Talk about it.
and
Come join
we will
us.
pitch you.
Yeah. Um, and then the last people I've got, but I'm sure there's more. Um, Jeanette and or Fleur.
Hmm.
Jeanette has said she would do it.
Which,
Publicly, she
as she
has said
should.
she would do it, as she should. Um, she said she doesn't know if
Hmm.
she hasn't given any real clear information about the process or anything, but she has said if the opportunity came up, she would absolutely take it. Um, I think if you haven't seen the Strictly Live tour, you may feel slightly differently towards the way Jeanette presents, but Jeanette does present the live tour in front of a big audience.
Hmm.
And sure, it is scripted, but it's not that scripted. And she's still having to do live presenting and think on her feet. And she does it really well.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you watch the live tour, it's like I could very easily see her doing that role on the
Yeah.
TV. Like I think she fits it really well. It's
Yeah.
like there is this part of me that's like, but I like her on Takes Two. So it's like I like the Fleur Jeanette duo on Takes Two because I
Hmm.
like that it is an ex celeb and an ex pro, and I like that they have that connection.
Yeah.
But then it's like you could just get another ex celeb and ex pro to host Takes Two, I guess. But like
Yeah.
I could very much see Jeanette in that role, and also because Strictly is like it takes up a lot of time, like it's 3 months of the year that you're giving up your time for, which I think would also maybe deter some big names. But like
Yes.
Jeanette's done that. Like, first of all, she already
She's,
does it for Takes Two, and she
yeah,
did it for
very used
however
to it.
many years as a pro before that. So I feel like also that's kind of like she's used to the schedule of it.
Yeah. Very used to it. And in a sort of I mean, again, this is film and TV. There's no natural job progression. But, if you're looking at it from that angle, she's taken every step to sort of remain with the show and use her skills and give her all. And I think this would be another natural progression.
Hmm.
I really do like her and It Takes Two as well. And I mean, regardless, she's not leaving. I could see someone like Tasha coming in and doing more of a job
Yeah.
on It Takes Two because she's already
Hmm.
started doing stuff with it. And then there are a few current pros that I would
Hmm.
see quite happily. I don't want to say like retiring from dance, but being quite open to in the next few years transitioning to hosting It Takes Two. So
Hmm.
yeah, I see a space for it.
I
Um,
also, on the back of Tasha, I saw people like speculate that she could host the show, and she was like,
mhm.
"Guys, I'd love to do that in like 10 years, not now. Like, I'm still getting my feet with presenting. Like, I couldn't do it yet." But it's people obviously like her as a presenter and are putting her name out there, but she shut that rumor
Yeah,
down.
yeah. I think the big thing to consider with Strictly and who's going to host it, who the new hosts, is the fact that while them being like the most loved presenter is obviously going to be great, the thing that the BBC need is for them to be good at it because
Hmm.
this is their biggest show. If the show starts absolutely crumbling because the presenters can't keep it together, that's going to ruin the show. If some people don't love the hosts, that's a shame, but it's not going to ruin the show. So like Tasha, as you've just said and as she said, I would love her to do it when she's ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, any current pros that you see maybe transitioning
Mm.
to
I
presenter
could definitely
for It
see
Takes Two?
Amy as a presenter at some point. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like she's very much got the like personality and like people skills to where you could
Mm-hmm.
see her. Like Amy on Takes Two, I think would be great. Not yet. I'm like, don't don't go anywhere yet. But like in the future.
Yeah, yeah, I see
Also
that. I think
Diane,
she'd be good.
similar reasoning. I think Diane would also be good in that.
I was gonna say Diane. I think Diane
So
would be.
sorry.
It's fine. Yeah, I think Diane would do quite a good job. She's just quite funny, quite quick as
Hmm.
well. But yeah, if any of you in the comments have any other celebs or presenters that you think, put it in the comments. And what do you think of these rumors as
Hmm.
well? But speaking of current pros, next on the rumor mill is Johannes is leaving, Gorka's leaving,
Oh
Diane's
no.
leaving.
Oh god.
So every year,
Or
this
are
happens
they?
every year. What's going on? Every year, pros are rumored to be quitting Strictly. Um, this year, the front runners, I've seen Johannes, I've
Hmm.
seen Gorka,
Hmm.
I've seen Diane,
Yeah.
um, all for various reasons, which we will
Hmm.
delve into. But should we start with the one that I think is most likely,
Sure.
which is Gorka?
Hmm.
So if you somehow don't know, obviously, if you watch Strictly this year, you'll have noticed Gorka was barely in it. He got a job judging on the Spanish. My brain is everywhere.
He got a
The
job, guys.
Spanish. He got another job. He got a job judging the Spanish Strictly, basically. And if it's anything like British Strictly, he'll be getting paid way more than he was as a dancer.
Hmm.
Um, so he got that job and basically said to Strictly, I'm going to go do that, but I'll still do the pro numbers when I can. So it seemed to be all agreed and was fine. Um, it wasn't because he didn't get a partner. It
Hmm.
wasn't any sort of thing like that. So the rumor is he going to be keeping to the Spanish Strictly stuff now, or is he going to come back? And to be honest, I think if he's getting paid more, and if he's already happy enough to go be a judge now, I don't see a world in which he won't come back to no, so that he won't go back to Spanish Strictly.
The thing I don't know and need to Google and should have before filming, but
It's
didn't,
okay. We had no
is
idea what this episode was.
I know, is when the Spanish Strictly is going to be this year. Because last year it was meant to be earlier in the year. For some reason,
Oh,
I don't remember why it got moved. So he'd agreed to be, he'd been a judge for a year. Then he was like, yeah, I'll come back. Then they were like, we're actually moving the series. And he's like, oh, I've already agreed to be the judge. Oh. So then he had to miss Strictly. But I don't know if it's staying in
Hmm.
that same slot or if it's
Okay.
going back to earlier in the year. Because if it's earlier in the year, then he could do both. But if it's not, you're going to have to, I mean, you can't be in two countries at the same time.
Can't do it. As hard as you try. So I think he is the most likely, but not. I'm not saying I think he will go just out of
Mm-hmm.
this rumor. Most
Just in
likely,
terms of like probability,
yeah.
there's a strong understanding of why the rumor is existing. Because, but
Hmm.
also, I don't know if this adds to or takes away from, but he is on Pro Tour this year. So it's like, is he on Pro Tour because he's staying, or
That's
is
so
he on
true.
Pro Tour because it's like a goodbye? Ooh,
So
could
true.
be
That's so
either.
true.
Nervous.
Nervous. That's a great point. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, in terms of as being involved as he can, he still does do that.
Mm.
If like a lot of people, well, can't speak for any of them really, but if you were to go judge in a different country and then we're like, I'm gonna come back and do as much of the things as I can, it's like,
Mm.
well, I don't have to, but I appreciate that he did.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's like, does that commitment show that he wants to stay?
yeah, I guess so. So, but yeah, out of this list, and that's a lot to do with because spoilers, a few of the others I'm pretty convinced won't. I think he's maybe most likely. I'm going to go for next most likely, in my opinion. And by most likely, I think still won't, is Alexis.
Uh, Not you every time.
Every
Not the
time.
Alexa. But yes.
Uh, yeah, basically, the rumor is with Alexis. If you don't know the lore, I'm giving you a very quick summary. She was on Dancing with the Stars America. 2 years ago or last year, and then in the troupe, which is basically like the extra dancers that get to do all the like group dances but don't have a partner. And then she got dropped from the troupe, so didn't get invited back, and then got hired for Strictly. And the rumors are that now that she's sort of proven herself, that Dancing with the Stars America will want her back. She obviously lives in America. There's good reason why she would maybe want to stay in America. Also, definitely Dancing with the Stars America has a much bigger budget. They definitely pay more. It seems to be the desirable in terms of like job to go for. However, look, if a job's made me unemployed and then saw that I was actually really good and said come back, I would be like, absolutely not. I know where I'm
In it.
wanted.
Clock
So
it.
I'll be surprised.
Yeah, I think also when you like watch her vlogs and listen to the way she talks about kind of her relationship with dance and that after that stuff with Dance with the Stars, she did kind of feel down and like that did have
Yeah.
a negative effect on her. Would you go back to a workplace where that's how you felt and where you didn't feel
Yeah.
appreciated? Whereas compared to here, where she has gained so many fans and there are
Yeah.
people who have like watched her from the So You Think You Can Dance days who really appreciate her and those sorts of things, it's like, would you leave? I know her husband lives in America and like her dog, I think. I don't know. But like I think it would be yeah, I can't see her I couldn't see her going to Dance with the Stars. If she were to do something else in America, I think it would be a different opportunity, but I
Yeah.
don't think those kind of opportunities really exist anyway. So I
No.
feel like she's going to be firmly here. And I think the Alexis girlies will be glad about that. And will also
Yeah.
tell anyone who disagrees the law
Yeah.
because.
She's out. Yeah, I think she's as you say gained so much respect and such a big fan base from one season
Mhm,
um on UK. She's been received so well.
mhm.
And in that this industry of like any sort of performing industry, the way you're received is one of the most important things. So even if she does eventually go, I need to stay in America, I think it's going to be at least a couple years.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, like, imagine being Dancing with the Stars and how embarrassed you must be that you didn't give her an opportunity because
yeah,
that's you
yeah,
dropped the ball on that one, guys.
yeah. And no tea, no shade. Instead, giving Jan a job who isn't a ballroom and Latin dancer.
It's such an interesting
And don't
casting
get me wrong,
decision.
love the guy.
Yeah,
Just
funny, gorgeous,
what's
not a
going
ballroom
on?
dancer.
Not a ballroom dancer. But anyway,
Random choice.
I don't think she's leaving. But
Mm-mm.
if there is logic to why she maybe would,
Yeah.
compared to some of the other people. Um, The only other one, which I don't know, I don't want to call it logic because it feels misplaced, but Diane.
Mm-hmm.
The
I've seen people
reason,
say,
yeah, the reason it's so obviously the one of the main factors in this rumor is that currently she's pregnant. Maybe she's had her
is
child.
she?
We don't know. I assume she's not had her child, but it is due about now.
It's due any
Um,
minute.
it's due any minute. Diane, give us a call.
Yeah, we might have to up by the time this is uploaded tomorrow. Who knows?
Who knows? But yeah, so people are assuming she's going to have her baby and then not going to come back to Strictly. That's the
Mm.
general rumor. People were also assuming she wasn't going to do this series. People tend to have a lot of opinions about people when they have babies.
It
And it's kind
real.
of like if Diane wants to, she will. Fine. If Diane
Yeah,
doesn't want to, she won't. Fine. But right
exactly.
now, she's given no indication. She did this series of Strictly Pregnant. That to me implies she wants to keep doing it. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
and like when we were in Blackpool, this is a easy debunk. When we were in Blackpool, she was like, "Oh, I'll be here next year with my baby." So she's planning on being at Blackpool for Strictly. So I'm assuming she's planning to still be employed.
Real.
Also, I
There you
feel
go.
like she's talked about like her partner next year, and part of me's like, Diane, you are gonna be like what if she's due in March? By the time they start, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, 6 months postpartum. Maybe I don't know how long it takes to recover from after a baby, especially when you're a dancer, so you're already kind of fit anyway. I don't know, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know if how postpartum you want to be when you're doing dancing. I don't know, but she might be
And
like,
also,
guys, I've had a baby. I'm gonna sit out the pro routines, but I will have a partner. She might be like, guys, I've had a baby. I don't want to have a partner this year, but I'll do the pro routine. She could
yep,
do anything.
that's
I feel
exactly what
like,
I was about to
you
say.
know, they've kind
I
of
think,
shown how they're happy to work with her on what works
mhm,
best, and it'll just be a question of, she might look at it at the moment and go, yeah, I want to do everything, and then it gets to the time and she goes, oh, maybe not,
yeah,
or she might want to do everything, but I
yeah,
think she very much still plans to be there.
yeah. I think she still plans to be there, and exactly what you said. The show can allow for whatever she's wanting as well. So, like, getting a partner isn't a given anyway, but
Mm-hmm.
actually, it would maybe make things so much easier for everyone involved when, like this year, Gorka went, not me, and it meant all the other guys got, most of the other guys got a partner. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if Diane goes, I don't want a partner this year, but I still want to be part of the show, that's not even weird because there are always pros
Yeah,
then. And she might end up subbing in for someone if someone else gets injured or
that's
whatever.
true.
Still going to be involved. So, yeah, this isn't a
Also,
reason
like,
for her not to do the show.
we could really get on a soapbox about the way that people have talked about Diane throughout her pregnancy and the way, like, it blows my mind. Like, in another job, imagine if, like, when you were at school and your teachers were pregnant, it was like, you're not coming back. Like, imagine, like, it's like, well, you're pregnant. Well, are you going to have a class next year? It's like, well, yes, of course. I'm just having a baby. Like,
Yeah.
it's so weird to me the way people have talked about Diane and the way it's like, well, she's having a baby, so she might not come back. Did she tell
Yeah.
you that? Because she's not said anything about that. She's not said, I'm having a baby and leaving.
Hmm.
Like, she's given no indication. It's just all these assumptions that, like,
Yeah.
having a baby means not, like, it just, like, blows my mind. So I'm like, guys, do we know what year it is? It's not like she's, like, with Victorian. It's
And
like people, when
also,
she was dancing, being like, she should be resting. She's doing too much. She's doing this. She's doing that. It's like, guys, this professional dancer is dancing. Like,
yeah, she's
come
good.
on. This is her
Also,
job.
she is someone that works and wants to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the pros, they finish and they're like, cool, I'm on holiday. Sure, yeah, she's gone back to Australia. She filmed every second of it. She's making videos. She's working still.
I mean, she was doing, her and Joe were doing that. I don't know what it was, History Channel thing or something. Like, until like 2 weeks ago, I was like, Diane, darling, take your
Shout out.
maternity leave because I'm getting nervous.
But anyway, Diane, don't think she's going. And then
No.
the last one of the current pros that I've got written,
Mm-hmm.
Johannes. And to be fair, the initiation of this rumor very much came from him. And he didn't mean to. He basically implied it when he and Alex were voted out of this series. I can't remember his exact thing, and there was potentially a miss subtitle and
mm,
miss hearing of what he said, but it sounded like he said, goodbye to my Strictly family.
When what he actually said was, but to my Strictly family. He
But
still
yeah,
then said something emotional. And it was
yes,
like, Jojo, darling, please do not be this emotional when already everyone's going, he's doing kinky boots, he's not going to
yeah.
come back. And it's like, no, he will. And then he's on the TV going like, thank you to my Strictly family. It's like, for just
So
this series, right? Like,
yeah,
Jojo, rein it
so
in.
he loves the drama, and he is
Mm-hmm.
a busy guy. So putting two and two together, you do end up with, uh-oh, he might be leaving.
Yeah.
However, he has since now said on, I believe it's Graham Norton's show, he was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not leaving. I will never
Thank
leave unless they
God.
fire me. So he is, at least in his words, he is staying.
Yeah. This
Um,
man loves this glittery, sparkly show
he
and doesn't
does.
want to leave. And like
And
he has said it on like multiple occasions. Like he said it on his tours of like he won't leave till he gets a glitter ball. He said it multiple times. He does then just have the habit of leaving extremely emotionally.
leaving really
Many a
extremely
year. It's like Jojo,
emotionally,
darling.
and summarizing his experience of that season as if it's his experience of the
Mm-hmm.
entire show as a whole throughout the years, and it just really makes it sound final. But yeah, we got to take his word on this one. He said he's
Mm-hmm.
not leaving, so he's not
Also,
leaving.
like his Kinky Boots run is until July, and pro rehearsals start in August. So even without
Yeah.
his confirmation, the kind of like implication there is his time is freed up to come back to Strictly.
Mm-hmm.
But people just
Yeah,
love to assume that it's like, guys, he's too busy. He's so busy,
and I
except for
think
during Strictly season when he's actually free.
when he's actually the other rumor that I want to maybe debunk, but I don't know it for fact. But there have been a history of this rumor is the pros don't get paid that much, so when they're working the rest of the year, it's because they gotta earn that money. You know, they can't do Strictly, and well, they probably could do Strictly and then just have a holiday for 6 months and then
Mm.
come back. But you know, if they're working the rest of the year, it's because they're it's still a
Yeah,
job.
like when we're talking comparatively in terms of the entertainment industry, like the
Hmm.
pros earn less than the judges, the pros earn less than the celebrities. Pay them more. Hot take, pay them more.
Hot take.
But like, there's a reason that they're doing other things, and
Yeah,
it's not just necessarily out of being, let's have a hobby. It might
yeah.
be. I just hope people have their TikToks monetized. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, guys,
Oh,
please tell me you're earning
honestly.
from the name games
Come
because
on, Lauren, let us know.
yeah, if you don't
Um,
know how to monetize it, darling, actually don't ask me. I had a whole kerfuffle, but
ask me. So if we're talking celebs, sorry, pros that might have left, Gorka maybe. Who might replace them? So
because
you lead this one.
well, obviously we got two new pros last year, and there were lots of rumors at that time of who might they be. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone guessed them right because we thought there were going to be two boys because we were two boys down. So we're already uneven numbers. So technically there could be another new pro this year. Don't know.
Yes.
But the assumption was there'd be two boys. No one guessed Julian, but instead rumors were Simone Arena, who is Michelle's boyfriend and also a professional dancer who has been on Dance with the Stars Ireland. He's been on Dance with the Stars Belgium, maybe Dance with the Stars Italy. I mean, he is Italian, so probably. But that was a very heavy rumor. And also, I saw recently on a discussion, I think it was on Reddit, of who might leave. A couple of people were saying they wouldn't be surprised if Gorka left and Simone replaced him. So I feel like that is being rumored. Do I think
Yep.
it could happen? It definitely could. I mean, I think Simone is. I mean, he's a very good pro. He was very good on the different variations. He danced with drag queen Blue Hydrangea on Dance with the Stars Island. Incredible. I've also
Obsessed.
done a dance class with him, and he's such a fascinating man that I think he would make great television because like he taught a dance class in like a crisp white shirt open to the waist, a high-waisted black trouser with a belt, and a black and white shoe. Like, you know what I mean? Like imagine him. Like I
Just
think that
imagine
would
the
be great.
outfit he
Yeah,
will pick for the instant dance challenge.
exactly. I don't know if they're kind of shying away from hiring couples to avoid like rumors and drama. So that might kind of
Mm,
work against him. But I don't know if that
mhm.
is true or again another rumor. And then other rumors were also Luke Miller was highly rumored as well. as a British pro.
Mm.
So again, he could be someone, because there was definitely like, I think there must have been articles when it was like, who's going to replace them? They were convinced it was going to be Simone. I think Pasquale La Rocca was also heavily rumored, another Italian, again, who I think has done Dance with the Stars Island, and he's done Dance with the Stars everywhere.
Sorry to this
And
man, I
then,
don't know this.
well, he's one of the many Italians who have done Burn the Floor and are
Right.
on all the Dancing with the Stars. And then Luke Miller. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
these are three that have been heavily rumored.
Mm-hmm.
Whether there will be needed this year is a question in itself, but there's definitely been rumors.
Yeah, and another one to add about Simone is he's performed in a lot of the UK group numbers. Like he was there
Very
for Blackpool
true.
and stuff.
Hmm.
So he is involved in Strictly already.
And
Obviously partnered with Michelle in real life.
in
So
Blackpool, he turned up in a pink shirt open to the waist, a tweed jacket, sunglasses. Like, look, this is what I mean. He's not a real man. Like, he would make great television. I feel like they
yeah.
kind of had a period where it was like the Italian bros are the sexy ones. And then they like hired Vito and were like, maybe that's not true. They're all a bit weird. And I feel like Simone would really add to that weirdness, because he would just kind of come in and be a bit like, yeah, I'm meant to be sexy, but I'm also a bit insane, but in a good way.
They can be handsome and quirky, you know?
Exactly. I think he would
Um,
really add to that.
he fits the casting bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy, and he's had the experience of actually being a pro that's taught people,
Hmm.
so he's probably quite a good pick. I don't have any other people to add to this list, so.
Yeah. Well, those are the main ones I saw,
But
but will they be
in the comments,
needed?
let us know in the comments which pros are you maybe worried about dipping, and who would you want to come in and replace, or just join the squad.
Hmm.
Um,
There's
so
always
that
rumors every single year that Karen will leave and Nadia will leave and Luba will leave, but they're literally baseless and never based on things other than people's opinions. So I'm like, they're not
yeah,
worth. Like, I'll say them now because people will probably comment it, but I don't think they're actual rumors. They're just people going, Karen's been there 14 years, so she will leave. And it's like, but why? Because I say so. Okay. Nadia
yeah.
doesn't get a partner. She will leave. Why? Because I say so. Right. So this is not actually a rumor.
And also, and I'm not putting Karen in this bracket either yet or ever maybe, but there's pros like Neil or like Anton when he was still doing it that were pros in the show, because there would be certain celebrities that anyone that wanted to do well in the show wouldn't want to be put with. But someone like Anton, who at that point was just like, I'm just here for the fun. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll teach them for 3 weeks and then they'll get eliminated. And it's
Hmm.
a good time because, again, the show isn't a like actual professional dance competition, it's an
It's
entertainment
not.
show,
I had
dare I
no
say.
idea.
So again, people leaving because they've been there a while, like sure, if they're resistant to maybe the change of what that many years on the show might lead to what their job eventually becomes, okay, fine, whatever. And to add to it as well, any rumor you see about a celebrity or about a pro leaving that doesn't come from a reliable source such as the BBC or another pro or the pro themselves, it ain't true. Last year we got told Johannes was leaving, we got told Katia was leaving, we got told Karen was leaving. There was this huge circulating headline: 4 pros are leaving. No one left. Gorka half left. And that
Yeah.
was not necessarily a planned leave either, just scheduling issues.
Yeah.
So don't
Basically,
trust.
the tabloids are also like lazy. So you will see these kind of headlines. I think that one, that whole like mass culling of pros, came from a Reddit post where they were like, if I was in charge, I would get rid of all these people,
Mm-hmm.
or something along those lines. And then the same people they listed were randomly the same people that were in this article that were leaving. And it's like,
Yeah.
hmm. So sometimes you just have to take it with a pinch of salt, and it will be
I
like,
mean,
a rumor that this is happening. And then it's like, that, guys, that's not happening.
if you see an article that says Gorka, Alexis, Jojo, and Diana are leaving Strictly, it's ended up coming from this.
Mm.
This is how they end up, and we don't
Yeah.
think they are. So
Mm-mm.
anyway, we'll move on from the people involved, hosts, pros, dancers, all that. Let's just talk about the Strictly show as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with, really simply, there was a lot of rumors that past season of Strictly was going to be the last season of Strictly. Um, I understand grounds for it. I think it came off the back of people being like, if Claudia and Tess are leaving, I'm out, or the show's
Yeah.
changing, so I'm done. People might be done with the show, is what it is. This is still maybe the biggest show in the UK.
Hmm.
It ain't done. Until that
Yeah.
money stops, it ain't done. And the
It's
money
just
hasn't
like,
stopped.
it's the Sun's favourite article. Their favourite headline is Strictly's over. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like every year it's like, this is the end for Strictly. It's like Tess and Claude, is this the final straw? And it's like, well, no, it's not. You're just being annoying again. Or it'll be like
Yeah.
all those like all the stuff that happened with certain men from the 2024 cast,
Mm-hmm.
where there was lots of stuff in the press and all the headlines would be, does this spell the end for Strictly? Instead of like men's problematic behavior, it became about, oh, so the show's at fault and the show will end. And it's like, well, no. So I
No.
think it's
And
just like, and like you say, it's like people will take somebody going, oh, I won't personally watch it and go, therefore I'm running the headline that no one is watching it and the show is over. And it's like, well, that's no, just Barry isn't watching it.
just Barry isn't watching it. And also, yeah, a lot of people have watched Strictly for many, many years. But also, much like all Saturday night TV, especially like family Saturday night TV, like kids grow up and start not watching TV with their family on a Saturday night. And so, like, things change. But for every
Mm-hmm.
family that stops watching it on a Saturday night together, a new family start watching it. So it's like, don't listen to the people being like, I'm not watching it anymore, because there's also so many people that are going to be joining it for the first time. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's losing ratings in that sense. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't think Strictly is going to end anytime soon. If you look at this most recent season, I think certainly in it has evolved and there's like new things going on, but in terms of like drama, in terms of scandal, there was very, very little um, compared to previous stuff. But people just find the scandal and use it as an excuse, like you said. This most recent year, the only thing I can think of was everyone was getting injured, and actually, that's just like a testament to how it everyone was just trying really hard
Yeah.
to make the show really
Also,
good.
I was going to say, I don't know about you, but I feel like on social media this year, there's been a lot more buzz about it, which
Been
kind of goes against the idea that it's going anywhere. Because actually, I've seen like with Tour, I've seen so many people posting clips of the show and stuff that doesn't normally happen. So that kind of
yeah,
suggests, if anything, the show not necessarily is more popular, but is more like culturally relevant, I guess.
yeah, reaching a wider audience for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So no, don't think it's ending, but what might be starting? Strictly All Stars.
I love this rumor and I love this idea. And I think this would be the way to introduce new hosts as a kind of
Mm-hmm.
like bridging the gap between the old and new era.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. I think the one of the other scandals of recent Strictly time, but it actually has existed for the entire time Strictly's existed. People just have the ability to be louder about it now. People with dance experience, people that are too good to compete on Strictly. Strictly All
Mm,
Stars would completely debunk anyone that gets mad about that, because the whole premise would be people that are good already,
hmm.
have trained already, and in theory, most of the contestants would be really, really good at dancing. So it would just be a
Yeah.
bunch of really good dancing. That's
Oh,
not English, you know. I would love
I
it.
want to see it.
Yeah. And I
I
think
just
you're
think,
right. It would be a good way to introduce new
hmm.
hosts. It like with everyone involved in the show very familiar. You don't have celebrities who are like really new to it. They've all been through it before. Everyone understands a bit better how it runs, but also as an audience, there will be so much familiarity
Hmm.
between everything, like the contestants being people we know, but there might be some new partners, because with All Stars, they're realistically not all going to be paired up with the same partner they initially had. It gives the hosts a good way to join.
Yeah. And like you say, it has that familiarity because you could have people back and you know, oh, I think it'd be so good. I don't know if they would do it because I don't know logistically. Like,
No.
I also feel like, bear in mind, it's now March. We probably would have heard by now. I feel
Yeah.
like maybe by the end of the month, we would hear on if they're
Yeah.
doing that. But I think it would be so cool
It'd be
and
amazing.
so interesting, especially because we used to have Christmas specials where old celebs would come back, and now it's new celebs. So it's like there's a whole kind of era of people who haven't even had the opportunity to come back and do stuff. So then
Yeah.
you could have those people back, like Strictly,
Yeah.
come on. You know you want to.
I would, oh my goodness, Strictly can't make it happen. I think with All Stars, I think we could expect it maybe in a couple years' time. And I
Mm.
honestly could see it if they were to do it, it would have to be planned pretty particularly, but it might not even be instead of the main series. It might be as
Oh.
well as, but it might only be eight
Hmm.
returning. They might be just like, hey, in April and May, we're gonna do an 8 week run of Strictly All Stars.
Mm.
I would just love it to happen. So
I also think adding to the rumor was the like people coming back at Blackpool and
yeah,
having those kind of, you know, icons, if you will, returning. It kind of is a little taste of, oh, these people have still got it. So
yeah,
if we can see Danny Mac do that, can I see Danny Mac for another full series? If Ashley Roberts can still do that, can I have Ashley Roberts for another full series? Like,
yeah,
it's given me a taste, and now I will be, fueling that rumor because I need it to happen.
yeah. And I like the idea as well that it is if they did do it, it's maybe only people that didn't win as
Yeah, I feel
well.
like you can't win twice. Even like
Yeah,
Love Island All Stars, I'm a bit like, if you've already won, why are you going back?
yeah. Why are
Strictly
you
All
here?
Stars, you can't come back if you've won. Sorry to Jay
Yeah.
McGuinness. You did a lovely jive at Blackpool this past series, but you have already won, and
Yeah.
therefore, Ashley Roberts, come on in.
Come on in, get in here.
Kelly
So yeah.
Bright, yeah, come back.
Hmm.
I actually don't know who I'd cast. That's a whole nother episode, is the
That is,
concept of All Stars. But
yeah, we will do that
as a
at
rumor,
some point.
I want that to be a trumor.
A true love. Um, then the only other one we have written is partner swap and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that was a rumor last year, was there was going to be a partner swap week, and all the tabloids were running it. And the same day, the like, oh, I can't remember what his job is, but something to do with entertainment at the BBC tweeted and said, "If you're not hearing it from us, it's not true." Just to shut down the rumor. I don't know where the rumor came from, where the press got this idea, because that seemed to come from nowhere. But I think it must be something they've done on multiple different international versions
Yeah,
of the show. Because I think they've done it in Ireland before, and
yeah,
it's been like a non-elimination week, and there was
yeah,
all this talk about it. I still don't know how I feel about it as a concept,
yeah.
but
I think
it's very
there's
interesting that like a rumor can go so hard so fast, and then it gets
yes.
shut down.
Yeah, and this series definitely like built itself up to get these rumors because there were so many new challenges, new
Mhm.
twists that they didn't tell you what it was, but we knew they were coming. So
Yeah,
it gave so much room for speculation. And when there are so many other global iterations that have done various twists, it makes it easy to narrow it into a list of things that might happen. But yeah, partner swap would be interesting. I'd be open to it, but I don't think it would be. I just can't see it happening in a way that meant if you got eliminated and it wasn't your pro, it wouldn't feel awful.
yeah. Like it would have to be a non-elimination week, but also
Hmm.
we don't really do non-elimination weeks, so
No,
it all becomes complicated.
dare we even bring up the non-elimination weeks that didn't happen again? But anyway, um, and then the last one, we just want to plant the seeds of a new rumor that we've been seeing go around. You know, first of all, speaking of new hosts, yeah, can't confirm or deny whether or not I would know anything about that.
I've had a rumor. I've
Heard a
heard
rumor.
there's some Strictly Talkers that are in talks to host the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't confirm or deny, but
Couldn't see it.
maybe some familiar faces will front the show. And everything we said about people needing experience hosting a live program was to dispel the rumors.
Master of Deception is us.
Mm.
That, and then also there's a new Strictly couple.
Mm-hmm.
So we think.
I mean, if you've seen Alexis's vlog, you may have seen they went bowling in Nottingham. And what did I see in the background of this vlog? I saw a Strictly curse going on because I see two people cuddling, snuggling, canoodling. It was Lauren and Vicky. Don't tell their husbands.
It was actually hilarious, the video, because they're like, they are just cuddling, it's nice. And then as soon as they realize the camera's on, they're like, I'm like,
But I
why
saw
did he?
someone clipped it and Lauren was like, it's giving that Coldplay video. But my question
Yeah,
is, was it like a bit for the vlog? Or
I
was
think
it
so.
like we're having a cutesy snuggle? Oh, we're being filmed. Because they acted it too well if it's acting.
It's
I don't think they are having a
hilarious.
Strictly curse, or maybe they are. Look, there's going to be a Strictly curse, I think it should be a gay awakening one, and it should be like if you're going to have a Strictly curse, cheat on your husband with a woman, and I've always said that. But like, don't stop your husband. Don't let your husband stop you from finding your wife. But I don't know what was going on. Like, get him on the pod. We will be asking questions.
Yeah. Again, Lauren in the comments, let us know.
Yeah,
Um,
imagine she's just, no, guys, I'm not having an affair with Max. We were just having a cuddle.
all of this really nicely leads me to my hot take of the week.
Yeah,
Hot take. Okay.
I've got hair in my mouth.
Oh my goodness. Hot
I know.
take. Poppy's
That
got
was
hair in her mouth.
intense.
Um, my hot take of the week is the Strictly curse isn't real. Sorry, it's not. Kinda. Let me elaborate. The
Mm-hmm.
Strictly curse has become a catch-all phrase for anything that alludes to the idea that two people involved in Strictly are anyway romantically involved. However, Strictly Curse has such negative implications. I mean, we're
Mm-hmm.
joking about it, but like it is used on a
Or are
bigger
we?
scale, or are we? In like quite a negative way. But actually, there are many a positive Strictly Curse that have occurred. There are many relationships that have formed because of Strictly, where neither member were breaking any other relationship up, were cheating on any partners, and so the idea of just, two people finding love in a workplace, that's very normal. That happens everywhere you go. That is how people meet. So I think we just need to be cautious when we use the term strictly curse and make sure we understand why we're using it. As a joke, yeah, let's go. But yeah, a lot of the times people say strictly curse and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a curse? Is it a curse to fall in love?
Oh,
Is it?
is it?
I don't know if there's like much of a like bottom line to this one, but it is more just there's things that have been called the strictly curse, and I'm like, guys, that's not the curse. That's not a curse.
It's a
You know,
blessing.
it's a blessing, and that's what we're here to say. So, yeah,
Excellent hot take. Very true. Very real. Very accurate.
thank you.
People love
Just
to say strictly curse about everything. They love to see a man and a woman hanging out and going, strictly curse. And it's like, no, they're friends. They like to see two single people falling in love and go, strictly curse. No, that's just a relationship.
yeah,
Like, we need to retire the word curse and use it only when it's needed, aka a real affair. You are tainting the juiciness of a true strictly curse.
yeah,
Like, sometimes strictly curses do happen. Someone breaking up with their partner post strictly isn't the strictly curse.
exactly.
Somebody cheating on their wife with Christina Rianoff is the strictly curse.
Yes, there you go. That's the point. That's the bit I missed. Is Strictly Curse isn't someone breaking up with their partner because of Strictly, while also their dance partner is happily married and nothing will ever happen between them. That's not the Strictly
Yeah.
Curse. That is just people's lives happening while they also happen to be on Strictly.
That people, you love to have these articles that are like the strictly cursing. It's like Susanna Reid divorced her husband after being on Strictly. It's like, right, do you think Susanna Reid snogged Kevin Clifton? No, maybe Susanna Reid's husband was just not that great and she divorced him.
Yeah, yeah. It's like column A information and column B information. A lot of the time they are just separate.
Yeah.
unless
Maybe
the
Louise
breakup.
Redknapp
No.
filed for divorce from Jamie because she was bored and tired of him and he wasn't a good husband and they weren't right together. Maybe it had nothing to do with Strictly. Maybe it did. I don't know. But is it the Strictly curse or is it just maybe Jamie Redknapp wasn't the right man for Louise?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I think it's not actually helpful to assume that two people being very close on Strictly while also being in relationships is a Strictly curse, because just people are just good friends.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot with like Lewis and Katia. People going, "Oh, she's clearly in love with him," and it's like maybe the reason she speaks highly of Lewis is because she's a dancer and he dances well, so she can be really creative with the choreography, and that means a lot to her. And maybe he doesn't have to have any other emotions attached to
Hmm.
it. Maybe it's not strictly cursed. Maybe it's just people appreciate each other, and that's fine and nice.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. But anyway, that's my hot take.
That was a fantastic hot take.
Thank you. Thank you. I was just trying to think of like a rumor related hot take.
Mm.
So
They love the rumors.
they love the
Every
rumors.
year, there's always a rumor, and it's like it's fun when they're single though.
It is fun when they're single.
When they're single and you see it, Kai and AJ, and it's like I'm gonna start a rumor.
No, that was good, but also they were playing into it.
Yeah, that's when it's fun.
Yeah, like they
That's how you do a rumor,
actively,
guys.
yeah, yeah. Go watch that entire series, witness their potential, will they, won't they, and that you can num 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 num.
Yeah, it's so fun.
That's good stuff.
Like they even spoke about it on takes too. Like they didn't, but the Friday panel would talk about it. Like that's how you do a rumor. That's how
That's how
you
you do
do
a
a
rumor.
strictly curse. Except it's
And you
not
know
curse
what?
because they're single. It's just fun.
It's just fun. And it didn't get them to the final. Her dancing ability did, but
Yeah,
it probably helped a little bit,
and it was fun.
and it was fun. But anyway,
That's
I
how
think
they
that's
should
it.
hire people this year. Is based on who is which pros are single. Give them a
Yeah,
single celeb who's hot, and just let the rumors
yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah. I'd watch that show. Otherwise, I
Like,
don't really watch Strictly.
who cares about the dancing when I could instead go, I'm starting a rumor.
Oh, there it is. Love that. Um, yeah, the one that really annoyed me this year was Nikita and Amber. I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
Amber's in musical theater. Her job requires her to kiss many another man. Her and Nikita being comfortable having their arm around each other when they're also dancing the entire time.
yeah.
Guys, that's just both of them being professional
Also, like,
performers.
there was no romantic chemistry. Like, they got
No,
on very
zero.
well. They were
Yeah,
great friends, but there was no
yeah.
romantic chemistry. Like, people were just making that up to just stir the
Hmm.
pot. And I'm like, guys, just because she was on Love Island doesn't mean you can just go, we're going to start a romantic rumor. That's not how this works.
Literally not how it works. But anyway, okay, we're gonna stop ranting about the maybe, maybe not strictly curse rumors. Other than Vicky and Lauren.
I'm just saying, what happens on tour stays on tour sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. And Molly and Tyler are now engaged.
Sometimes it stays on tour. Sometimes it ends up on Alexis's vlog, and then the world
Yeah.
see it.
Sometimes you want to start a rumor about maybe two people snogged. Not Lauren and Vicky, they are both married, but like if they wanted to, go ahead. But like when Helen Skelton was on the tour, I was rooting for her to have a, a snog because she was single. That's when it's
And she was
fun.
single.
That's when it's fun to
No.
have a rumor. Is when somebody is free and single
Yeah,
and sat next to Vito, and you go, "Good for you."
yeah. Just wait for when I'm on Strictly, people.
Sitting next to
Start the
Vito,
rumor.
going, "Starting a rumor."
Start the rumor.
I'll start the Strictly Curse rumors when you're with Vito.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Guys,
you.
did you see the way they look at each other?
Do it for the votes.
That's the just do it for the votes.
Do it for the votes. Look, it's what it is. Okay, we're done now. We're done. Otherwise I'll get carried away.
You're done.
You're done. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for listening to Strictly Talk episode, whatever this was. If you have a hot take or this or that, put it in the comments. If you have any rumors that we missed, we'll maybe talk about them in another episode.
Yeah. If there's any
Also,
you want to
thank you.
start,
Will you say that one more time?
if there's any rumors you want to start,
Oh, you want to start? I thought you said any rumors you've got snot. And I was like,
well,
huh?
That's a really rubbish rumor.
That is really bad. Also, if you watched our last episode and commented, thank you for your help. We read them all, and we're gonna go do a lot of them. If you
Mm-hmm.
haven't watched the last episode, which isn't really an episode, we'll still be checking. So go back. It's called Help
That's
Us,
true.
and put
Help.
any ideas. Help us. Any ideas that you want us to talk about. And some people did say some of the stuff that we spoke about today. So thank you for
Mm.
that. And yeah, if you want to follow me, I'm Caterpillar on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok.
I'm
And that's it.
Strictly Poppy. Strictly Poppy on TikTok and Poppy.Morrison _ on Instagram and on Twitter. Just go look up Laura May Oakley and look at her replies, and that's where I am.
Yeah, there you go.
That's easier than me trying to explain how you spell Devereaux, and then it's like, why is it Devereaux? It's because of Golden Girls. Do you know what I mean? It's complicated.
It's complicated. It's really tough.
I know. I
Maybe
need
you
to
should just
rebrand.
change all your handles to the same thing.
I know.
But hey ho,
That would be too easy.
it would be. It would be really easy. And we don't know what we're talking about next week, so
Could be anything.
just look forward to it. We'll start rumors throughout the week about what we might talk about.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all we've got. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.